Eastlake Woodlands, one of the nicest places to live in Pinellas County, and here's what's happening with the market. Real estate investors and even savvy sellers and buyers look at the market status and look at seller's market, balanced market, or buyer's market indicators. What's that mean? Well, let's say that you had 10 homes for sale in a neighborhood, and that neighborhood sold 10 homes every month. That would mean there was 1 month of inventory available. If, on the other hand, you had 10 homes for sale and only 1 home every month sold in that neighborhood, that would be 10 months of inventory. When there's 10 months of inventory, that means it's very slow, and the sellers don't have a lot of leverage, and the buyers basically set the prices. If it's a hot market and homes are selling really fast and only on the market for a month, and there's only 1 month's supply, that's a seller's market, which means the sellers dictate the terms, and the buyers end up paying more. Where's Eastlake? Look at this, 3.5 months, just a little bit favoring a seller's market from a balanced market. You could argue that it's right in the middle there, and that's healthy for everybody. So what's happening with the inventory? Well, it's about the same as last month, 1% up. In the last 12 months, it's up 18%, which means there's more choices for buyers available, and the balance will be shifting more in the buyer's favor. As the market shifts more to the buyer's favor, sellers will have to be much more astute, in tune, and analytical to price their homes right to sell versus just sit on the market unsold. Here's just another way to look at the data on the Eastlake Woodlands single-family home market over the years. In 2020 through 2023, prices rose from $200,000 to $680,000. That's remarkable, and it's not sustainable. That's why prices have stabilized in 24 and 25. Did we mention appreciation and going from the 200s to the high 600s? The blue line is Eastlake Woodlands. The other lines are Pinellas County and Florida in general. While the historic appreciation has been significant, for the past 3 years we've been in a plateau. That's because prices can't rise much more with the current economy and people having to be able to afford the home. Look again, this is the historical appreciation. This is where it's been for the last 3 years. We have had 12 new listings in September, which is very exciting. The median price of those listings is $762,000, 2,400 square feet, and Eastlake Woodlands is certainly still in demand. Speaking of demand, there's 35 active listings available right now that have been on the market an average of 77 days. When you see that, it's a hint. The 77 days, likely most of those 35 are a bit overpriced, and they're going to have to make some concessions. The pendings are great. There's 13 properties currently under contract. In September, 10 homes closed as sold. This shows that Eastlake Woodlands has always been a very desirable place to live. We know it. We live here too. So what does all this mean? What's the big picture? Well, buyers have a pretty balanced market, leaning a little bit seller favored. There's 35 active homes to choose from. Here's where we shine. You let us know what you're looking for. We can find you homes you can't see on the internet and are not listed. We call those off-market properties, which often means you're not competing with as many people and you can get a very fair price. For sellers, the average selling time is 57 days. There's still too many homes that have been on the market for too long, which indicates probably a little bit of misjudgment in the pricing strategy. That's where we like to shine. We even have a Duke electrical engineer and biomedical engineer on staff. He loves to do analytics. If you're watching this, you know why Eastlake Woodlands is desirable and you'd like to live here, and you'll probably always regret selling. My name's Keith. My wife's Jamil. We're the Winn team. One of our greatest sources of pride is our last 3 sales have been for $30,000 to $50,000 more than identical homes in the near area. We like to sell your home for more money and faster. And for buyers, we bring you equal value. We help you save money on what's being asked. We're the hired guns. Just give us a call. We'll help you either way. Thank you very much. Again, Keith Winn, 727-353-6636.